I had nightmares again, and I'm sure it's caused by the creature that lives in our basement. At the beginning, I didn't think that was real, but Bobby tells me that it's real and lives there. I asked for evidence or if he had been there, and Bobby answered to me, I never went down to the basement. You know I can't move without you. Also, you are the only person who can hear me. So, how do you know that the creature exists? I said. And Bobby looked at me very seriously and told me, I've no doubt that evil is in the basement. It fits every night with our nightmares. At that moment, I was very worried. Bobby sounded very confident. So I ran to my father before he left for work, and I explained all that Bobby told me. When my father heard the word basement, he transformed into another person, and with a gloomy face, he told me, You know, Bobby isn't real, and you are too old to believe that. The only thing in the basement is a nest of rats. But don't worry, one of these days I'll figure it out. After said that, he left to work. Bobby was very sad by my dad's words, and he said, if mom was still here with us, I'm sure she really heard us. I know, I really miss her, I said. I spent the rest of the day thinking about what my dad told me about those rats, and I talked to Bobby about it. But he's pretty sure that there aren't any rats in the basement. And he also told me to go downstairs and see the monster to confirm what he's saying. I'm really scared to go alone to the basement. Maybe if I could go with my dad, but the basement is a topic I don't want to talk about with him again. And after my mom disappeared, he just works all day and all night. The other option I have is to go alone with Bobby. But he's a coward and I'm sure he will leave me alone with the monster. But maybe if I go with a weapon, I will be safe if Bobby runs away. So I search the whole house and I find a broomstick. With this great weapon, I will kill the monster if it decides to attack me. Bobby was so happy with the idea to go to the basement, and he, with a confident pose, told me, Perfect, let's go down right now. I'll accompany you to discover the mysterious creature that is annoying us. With each step we took towards to the door, I felt more scared. But I was extremely tired of having nightmares every night. So I stilled myself and I ran to the door, only to discover that the door was locked with a key. It was already late at that night when my father arrived. I brought some food, he said, and we ate Chinese food again. After dinner, I went to sleep, but that night the noises from the basement were unbearable. It seemed that the monster wanted to escape, so I turned on my lamp and Bobby told me the monster realized that we are going to kill him with that broomstick. And now he wants to kill us. Tomorrow we have to find the key and kill him during the day while he is sleeping. I think it's our only option, I said, and I tried to sleep what was left of the night.
The next day, I saw my father in the morning. He looked very depressed. I was going to ask him what happened, But I remembered the noises from yesterday, and I thought that maybe the monster affected my father too. When he left for work, Bobby and I searched throughout the house for the key. No matter how hard we searched, it was impossible to find it. The key we were using had a very special shape because it opened a very strange lock. We would recognize it instantly, but it didn't appear in the whole house. Then it got dark and we ran out of time. The monster woke up and the mission was over for the day. Later the same day, my father arrived. I brought food some. Let's have dinner, he said. While we were eating, I subconsciously asked him, Father, why is the basement door closed? He reluctantly answered me, because you can go down there. There are many rats and they are dangerous, especially when the rats must protect their babies. While he was explaining to me about the rats, I saw it, the key. He had it hanging from his pants. He had it all this time. So while we ate, I began to plan how to take them off without him noticing. But I hadn't finished planning. When something unusual happened, the monster woke up earlier and started making noises, which upset my father. So he quickly got up from his chair and took the keys to go to the basement. He didn't look good, and I asked him, Father, where are you going? So he answered, to fix some things. I replied, but the rats, father, you said they were dangerous. He immediately told me, yes, they are. And that's why I don't want you to go down or see the basement. Then he ran downstairs. I waited for him very scared in the dining room. The noises were getting louder, and I heard my father screaming. Then there was a knock and then silence. I saw my father come out of the basement, bleeding down the arm, and he told me, don't move, I'm going to get help. And he came out of the house. Quick, take the broomstick and finish off the beast, Bobby told me. I was paralyzed, but the fear that this creature would do more danger to my father filled me, strangely, with courage. So I took the broomstick and I ran to the basement. When I was on the door, Bobby told me, this is as far as I go. Now go down and finish it. I didn't think twice, and I went down those stairs as fast as I could when I saw the monster. It was big and was chained. It had long hair and it was thin. I turned on the lights so it would think it was daytime and would be weaker. But it was strange. It wasn't a monster. It was a woman. She looked strange, as if she had cried a lot. And when she saw me, she said, Adrian. I was in shock. Adrian, it's my name. How did she know that? And then she screamed, Run, son, go to the police and avoid your father. I didn't understand what was happening when suddenly I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was my father. Something had changed in him. His gaze was cold, lifeless, and perverse, and he told me, I told you not to come down.
At that exact moment, I decided to run to get help, but my father was holding me by the shoulder, so I slipped away and ran to get out of the basement and quickly reached the door of the house. I noticed that a patrol car was passing by on the street. I looked back and my father was not following me, so I ran towards the policemen and signaled for help. They got out of the car and asked me, "What's wrong, kid? Why are you so altered?" And I replied, "Help me. My father went crazy and has a woman chained up." The policemen looked at each other and quickly went to investigate the house. As soon as they entered, everything was silent. My father was waiting for us while he was having dinner. With a perverse look set on me, he cordially greeted the policemen and asked them, "How can I help you tonight, gentlemen?" And they answered, "Your son is very scared, and he told us that there was a woman chained, and we should go to check it out." To which my dad replied, "What television does to children? He must have seen a horror movie tonight. Go ahead and check it out. You will see there is nothing out of the ordinary." Immediately, the policeman opened the basement door, turned on the light, and the room was empty, almost completely silent. But a small sound caught their attention. I stayed with a policeman upstairs who helped my father, while my father said, "It must be the heating that has been failing these days." The policeman answered him, "Surely, but it doesn't hurt to take a look." Then he slowly walked towards the sound and saw her. There was a woman chained up. "That is your mom," Bobby whispered to me. She wouldn't stop crying, and me too. The policeman arrested my father, who was saying, "Please get out of there. You don't know what a big mistake you are making." One of the policemen handcuffed my father, while the other unchained my mother. She looked relieved and smiled. After that, she hugged the policeman, and I wanted to join to the group hug. So I started down the stairs, but when I approached the policeman, he didn't look happy. He had bulging eyes and purple skin. He was drowning, and I was horrified to see him fall inert to the ground. I asked to my mother, "Are you okay, Mom? What happened to the policeman?" My mother replied, "Nothing, Adrian. He's taking a nap. Now come and give your mother a hug. We haven't seen each other in a long time." But her look was the one I saw every night in my nightmares. She was actually the monster that lived in the basement. Then I heard my father yell, "Run, Adrian!" I immediately obeyed and went up the stairs as fast as I could. The other policeman seeing what was happening. He tried to stop my mother, but she didn't dare to attack him. Biting his neck, she left the policeman lying on the ground. When I was at the door, just before escaping, I felt cold nails grab my ankle. I looked down, and it was my mother, or what was left of my mother. I thought it was the end, until my father appeared and grabbed her by the neck. Then he told me, "Run, Adrian, run and don't look back." I managed to free myself, and I ran. I ran next to Bobby in that immense darkness of the night. Bobby was faster than me. I followed him until I couldn't see him. I couldn't feel my legs anymore. I couldn't see anymore. I don't know where I am.